and welcome to Rosalind's Kitchen Christmas Eve edition. Being of mildly mental challengement, I decided to cook supper, not only for my dad, but for my godson and his wife tonight, which meant kind of like doubling the recipe. So what we're having tonight is sirloin steak. Sirloin steak with blue cheese compound butter and fingerling potatoes and green beans. Now, I had everything I needed except the blue cheese. So I had to go buy me some more blue cheese because everything else I could I could work with. So I have already pounded my steaks with my hammer. Believe me, it makes a fair bit of noise when you do that. But they should be well pounded. Here are my fingerling potatoes. Here are my green beans. Here are my green onions. I had extra pats of butter. I had extra garlic. I had enough blue cheese for one, so I had to go for a little bit more. Okay, so let's get down to business and try and see if I can make this edible. Alright, so first I have to trim and then thinly slice my green onions. So here is a bowl in order to put my onions once I'm done with this. Now you may hear me yell out questions because my godson, who is a chef, and a really good one, is here with me today. And
Hola! From off camera.
And so I may be asking him questions such as, how far up the green do you cut it and it still be considered part of the onion?
I mean, the whole thing is the onion, but if you're wanting just the chive part, I'd stop before it gets white.
Well, it's the white that they usually call for. Or they say, separate the white from the green.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how far does the white actually go, you know?
You got it about there. You're about right there.
Okay, because their pictures always show a whole lot more. Okay, anyway, so...
It's to personal taste. They're probably thinking that the white portion is going to be a bit more pungent and oniony, whereas the green portion is a little sweeter and herbier, grassier, I guess is the word we're looking for.
Okay. Yeah.
But again, it's to taste. Everything really is to taste.
Yeah, that's what my dad and I have come to the conclusion of. That pretty much, my dad's like, you don't really need a recipe. You just, the chefs just put it all together. And I'm like, yeah, but they've been doing it for so long that they pretty much know how to just put it together.
Well, and to be perfectly honest, while yes, I do generally cook without a recipe, I still have to write a recipe. That way, if I'm not in the kitchen, someone else does it the exact same way I do it.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah.
And then you get into pastry, which I'm not prepared for at all. I don't know, pastry is a whole different science.
Yeah,
there's some pastry you can play around with, like easy things like bread pudding.
Mm-hmm.
It's eggs and cream and bread.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever made fig pudding?
I have.
Or plum pudding?
I have eaten a good figgy or plum pudding.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never, made one myself. It's essentially a super moist cake.
Interesting.
Your dogs love me. Your dogs love me.
Oh, I'm sure they do.
Well,
they love everyone.
They're what?
They love everyone.
Alright, so there you go. My onion has been cut up. Now I must have my fingerling potatoes lengthwise. Have cloth. We're all kind of in the kitchen right now, so you might hear all kinds of voices.
What are those?
Those are fingerling potatoes. See? Finger. It's about the size of your finger. And it's a teeny tiny little potato.
I must be good at cutting now, so I cut my finger easy enough.
Yes, my father, he's a comedian. He'll be here all week. Tip your waitress.
Try the veal.
Yeah.
Oh.
Our shows are at 6 and 7:30. Oh, Lord. There's shuffleboard on the main deck. The bar is a cash bar.
My godson is also a comedian. Do not abuse your wife. Not in my kitchen, anyway.
Alright. I got people to defend me now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. Okay,
You're not the
Angie,
only one
I'm
who
putting
knows.
you to work. Oh, you grab a couple of the bigger bowls and then the biggest bowls over there for me.
Sure.
Okay, and then I just need maybe one of those and a couple of the ones next to the small bowls. Yes, this is going to be kind of a joint venture today. Oh, by the way, this bracelet that I'm wearing, isn't it gorgeous? My beloved Angie made it for me. Come over here, Angie. This is Angie. She makes jewelry. She's awesome. She's Andy's wife. I've adopted her. There's nothing she can do now.
Pretty good deal.
Alright, so back to steaks. Okay, just, I'll take them. Thank you. Because I was running out of room in the little bowl for the... Actually, I'm going to need another one of these, I think, because I do believe I'm going to have the need of a bigger bowl. We're going to need a bigger bowl. Alright, thank you.
You're very welcome.
If you've watched my videos, you know I use disposable bowls so I don't end up with a kitchen full of dishes. My first subscriber, Benny Shani, sent me a message thanking me for this because he started using it. So I am having an influence. Maybe not a good one, but the planet is going to suffer, but I'll probably be dead before the planet is, so.
Hey, it works for you now. That's what matters.
Yes. At the moment, that is where my brain is. Okay. Interesting.
I have not actually thought about that, but I may steal that too.
What, the disposable
Yes.
bowls? Yeah.
Especially when it's like a larger project and you've got like several things going on.
Yeah, like this. And, oh, well, with my beads, I use just about anything I can use to throw the beads into. So, did you have a good trip up? Ah, that
It
one's
was good.
pretty nasty. I don't like that one. Eek. Okay, it gets thrown away. Alright, so now the fingerling potatoes are all cut up. Now, it says to trim the ends off the green beans. Grab my handy scissors. My cat is not in here to observe me this time. She's hiding because Andy and Angie brought their cat, Eve, who is not happy. And now my cats are not happy because they're not happy with a strange cat in the house. They're also not happy because they brought their dog and dogs. And so now there is even more critters around. So my cats are hiding on me. They don't love me anymore. Okay, anyway. So what's it like being married to a chef, Angie? That did not sound good.
Lots of patience.
Yes, because sometimes he works very long and exhausting hours, you know?
Yep. Some days just completely give out and really don't even want to make time for the wife. Just like pass out.
Yeah, I understand that. Now, I'm not a chef. I work at a clinic, but I come home and, you know, my dad's like, are you going, when we were having more meals, my dad would be like, are you going to make a meal tonight? And I'm like, no, I'm dead. That's it. I'm over. Okay. Anyway, guys, I'll be back with you once I'm done with the beans. Okay? Okay. Alright, so now I am to mince my garlic, which, as you know, is always one of my favorite things to do. And Angie and I were just discussing the therapeutic benefits of beating the heck out of something. Because, well, she said, women always have the energy to beat something. And that's true. We do. Maybe because there's so many things that annoy us that we just can't resist beating on, well, pretty much anything. There we go. Now there's one. And there's two. And there's three. And there's four. So, who shall I beat up? Well, there was Jane Fonda. So, I think I will beat on her for a bit. She was a traitor. She should have been shot. So should have John Kerry. They were both traitors. Giving aid and comfort to the enemy makes you a traitor. Is there anyone you would like me to beat up, Angie?
I can't think of anyone right now.
I'm worried about you. I can always think of somebody to beat. Okay. Yeah, there we go. See? All right, so now I need to pat my steaks dry and season them with a pinch of salt and pepper. So, let's go. All right, so a pinch of salt. Now, you will, if you can count my steaks here, you will notice that there are 5 steaks, not 4. That's because my friend Kathy is coming over sometime this evening. And because I'm a bit of a pessimist, I'm expecting she might come up before we're done with supper. So I'm making a steak for her. However, if she doesn't come, I'll just eat the steak myself. All right, so, oh, I forgot to put the pepper on this one. Pinch pepper, pinch pepper, pinch pepper, pinch pepper. All right, so now let's see. Where are we right now? Fingerling potatoes on prepared baking sheet, tossed with 2 teaspoons of olive oil, a half teaspoon of salt, and a pinch of pepper. Will you go in that middle drawer there and hand me a large gallon bag?
Sure.
Because, as you all know, I do not believe in tossing my things on the pan because I end up with just one. That's all I needed.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Because if I toss them in the pan, we'd end up with potatoes on the ceiling. So, you know, this way they stay safe. Oh, the pan there, will you spray down my cooking sheet with it. Thank you. All right, so olive oil. It's nice having somebody in here to help me with this. All right, olive oil, salt. Huh?
I said, I might have sprayed the room 10.
No, that's it. You got it. You're beautiful. It's wonderful. We are very happy. Let me see. And a pinch of pepper. I'm going to have to... I need to get more kosher salt. I said this the last time I cooked. Okay, so... This is also fun. It says massage it into the potatoes, so this massages it. And, you know. Okay, I will let you put it in a single layer on my pan there. Alright, I have passed off the potatoes to my lovely assistant. And she is going to put it in a, on my cookie sheet. Meanwhile, I am going to make my butter. I'm going to take my softened butter, which I'm not sure how soft it is.
You need bag no more, right?
Nope, throw it away. And just kind of spread it out. Okay, so blue cheese, butter, blue cheese, garlic, half the garlic, okay, half the green onion, all right, and a pinch of pepper. All right, so there. And now I must smoosh it together. Sounds like Lexi is having a heart attack over there.
I thought someone did.
Yeah, I thought someone else was on.
Come in for.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
What's up?
Well, we thought we heard someone come in.
No, just a pup.
By the way, come over here so I can introduce you to my viewers. Yeah, I introduced her.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I am one of your viewers, so.
Well, why don't you
Introduce me to me. Hi, me.
This is Andy, my beloved godson.
Hello.
Who has been a stalwart supporter of me. Even when he goes, "You're the reason I became a chef." Because I didn't cook at that point. Now I do.
Hey.
So, yay.
People
Anyway.
can change.
Yep. It does happen.
Yep.
The leopard can change its shorts. Alright, so, mashing the butter together.
I thought it was used to stay away from me all the time.
Nah, it's my fault, Angie. It's my fault. I warped his personality when he was young.
So I know who to blame when this stage
Yes,
stuff comes
yes.
on.
No, you can blame me. No, I can't
This
say
stage, this stage you just pass out in the car and like, I'm not going home. I'm
Oh,
just
yeah.
sleeping in the car.
that. There's been more than one occasion where she's found me sleeping in the car park.
No.
It happened last week, didn't it?
Yes, you did totally doze off. You're just sitting there and you're dozing, and I'm like, why is he getting out?
Well, you know.
And I go and check on you, and
It's a real life story for those of you planning to get into the culinary industry.
Yes. You will end up sleeping in your car just out of sheer
Even when you have
exhaustion.
a home.
Yes.
remember that if you're planning on marrying a chef also.
Yes, you'll find your spouse sleeping in a car.
Well, you're fair.
It's not all like it is in the shows.
In fact, it's almost none of it's like it is.
Yeah.
Like I worked for a school. I'll give that much. I work for a school. We do have culinary classes and students. And the students are 100% convinced that they're going to grow up to be the next Food Network star. And when we have them come into the kitchen to do their supervised experience, it's like, okay, I need you to cut fruit, chop onions, and this. We'll get complaints like, all we ever do when we come up here is cut things. I'm like, cutting things is literally 90% of this job. If you actually are going to work in a restaurant, 90% of your time is going to be spent cutting things. Get used to it.
Oh, life is so hard.
Like, I'm the sous chef. 90% of my time is cutting things, and the other 10% is, hey, get back on task.
Yeah.
Or paperwork.
Oh, yeah.
God, the paperwork.
Oh. So I'm molding my butter into balls, as they said to do.
Yes, really.
There are.
I got 2. I don't need a third one. Actually, I got 4.
Ooh. Okay, so there's my balls. Not all of them equal, but hey, all of them there. Let me wash my hands, because now they're all gunky, so I'll be back. Alright, so now I'm going to be adding my steaks to my pan. Okay. Alright, so now that they are all added, they need to cook for about, it says 5 to 7 minutes, so we'll start with 5 and see where we go with that. Okay? So we'll be back. Alright, so my green beans, I've got 2 sets of green beans here. Okay. I've got 2 sets of green beans. I've got green beans that I froze, and they came out really soft, and so I'm cooking those for my dad. And then these green beans, which I am making for the rest of us, which it doesn't matter if they're a little bit, more crisp is what I mean. Alright, so in the meantime, I am going to start getting my plates ready, so we'll be back. Okay, now we are going to dish up. So we're going to put potatoes on plates. Come back here! Yay! It looked like a lot more fingerling potatoes when I started this. You know?
I can't seem to measure pasta. I always make a ton of pasta.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
never think it's going to make that much.
I know. You put, about that much, and it's that much. It's huge. And I'm like, ah! How did you, Okay. Now, where did I go with my, never mind. longer than 5 minutes. Let's see. Gotta make this one my dad's. Well, he can't complain that they're not soft enough this time. He can, but he shouldn't, you know. Alright. My mother would die of embarrassment. I don't have any salad. But they don't plan salad in this, okay? You know, so it's not my fault. They didn't call for salad, so, you know. I can't. Well, I guess I could. Do you think that's going to be enough for beans for everybody?
I think so.
Huh?
I think it's fine.
Well, the other thing is if she doesn't come, Andy can eat the other steak. Didn't think about that before. All right. Doop. 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 Liquid. 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 Liquid, liquid, liquid. Ah! Come back here. Alright, set you there. Alright, now, the coup de grace is to put the butter balls on the steaks. Okay, and I'll keep that one just in case anyone wants to eat there. Put this in the fridge for me. Alright, everybody. So, this is what it oh, I almost forgot. I've got to put the rest of the greens on as garnish. Alright. There you go. Alright, now, there's what it's supposed to look like. There's what it does look like. Maybe not quite the same, but hey, life goes on. We will get back to you about how they taste. Alright, so the verdict is very good by total unanimous agreement. So my next meal will probably be tomorrow. And till then, Merry Christmas.